Hi guys. Now, a couple of guys have called what I'm doing restoring, and I will disagree, and I'll show you why. There's a fine line between restoring and preserving. In my opinion, I am preserving for my own self and for future generations whenever I pass on these machines for other people to enjoy, preserving them. Now I'm going to show you what I was just talking about on the last video, oh my god, what I just found with rubbing compound and chrome. If you go back to my first how to care for old paint video, I showed you what I did with old chrome and what I thought was the best purple slice. Now we're going to show you the new reel. I just did this with rubbing compound. This is the original chrome. Well, this is the original chrome. If I leave it like this will eventually pit, it will eventually peel, it will eventually rust, and I will have no chrome. And then the metal will rust, and there won't be any metal at all. It'll be gone. That's what oxidization does. It will eventually turn it into molecules of rust. Then there won't be a bike at all. It'll go right back into the ground. So you either preserve it or you restore it. A restoration, we're going to talk about in a minute. This, in my opinion, is preserving the motorcycle. And as I said in the earlier video, this is the very best I found. And I just found this today, which is why I'm showing you. This here is the rubbing compound. It's getting rid of dirt, it's getting rid of oxidization, which is what this is. That's oxidization. That is the compounds in the chrome and the chromium itself reacting with the oxygen in the air and reducing it to its base molecular state. That's what oxidization is. That's what happens to everybody. That's why our cells age, that's why they mutate, that's why we age, that's why we die. It kills us. Oxidization kills everything. So putting on our rubbing compound, okay, again, this is the Perfect It 2 3M rubbing compound. On the original chrome, getting off the oxidization. And the dirt and the debris of decades of abuse and neglect. And we're bringing it back to as close of a clean original state as possible. In other words, I'm preserving it. I'm not rechroming it. I'm not disassembling the part and rebuilding it unless I have to, which is called a mechanical restoration. Because just because you do a mechanical doesn't mean you clean anything. You're just making it so it works. So what we're doing is a cosmetic preservation. Okay. So because it's chrome, it's not going to remove any scratches, it's not going to remove any tarnish, as in the deterioration of the quality of the chrome that is deteriorated. We'll bring back what's left. We're going to come back in with our wax, premium liquid wax, 3M. And there you go. To me, it's a oh my fucking god, wow.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
How
Just look
pretty
at that.
That looks gorgeous.
That's as I said, thank you to Adrian. I would have never thought in a million years to try and put rubbing compound on chrome. Who knew? It's for paint. I wouldn't have found out if it wasn't for Adrian talking about clay bars. It is not going to bring back pitted stuff. You follow? This has to go into Rustico and see what we can get back. This is toast. I can't get that back. But I can get this back. You saw what this just did. So I can preserve it. You follow me? So the concept of these bikes, to me, is to love them and cherish them and preserve them in as high a quality as possible for future generations. Because if you don't, your original paint bikes ain't going to be original paint for very much longer. They'll go away. I've seen it happen. I've seen guys buy just stuff that looks like this 30 years ago. Friends of mine, people I know. And they didn't take care of it, and they didn't wax it, and they just let it sit, and there's almost no paint left. Their bikes are gone. It's a rust with something you can barely read Harley on the tank. I've seen it in my lifetime happen because they didn't preserve their motorcycle. So now we're going to go over to the computer. Now, this is motorcycles, but it qualifies as automotive. In other words, it's vehicular. Automotive restoration is the process of repairing the degraded aspect of an automobile, in this case motorcycle, to return it to an overall authentic condition. Restoration should be historically accurate as a representative example of the production model. For example, the guidelines of the Antique Automobile Club of America, AACA, are to evaluate an antique vehicle which has been restored to the same state as the dealer could have prepared the vehicle for delivery to the customer. Now, the AACA has much higher standards than the Antique Motorcycle Club of America, the AMCA, dramatically higher standards. They make the Antique Motorcycle Club guys look like a bunch of amateurs. And their guideline says, as the dealer could have prepared the vehicle for delivery. Not what the factory did, what did the dealer do when he sold it to the customer? And if the dealer gave the Harley guy an Indian seat because he was a former Indian dealer, and that's the buddy seat he had, that's the way it came. And we got guys like that who've gotten all pissed off at the Antique Motorcycle Club of America going, I bought the bike that way. Don't be telling me it didn't come that way when I got it with that seat on it. Okay? There's the catch. Generally speaking, the consumer wasn't a Harley dealer. He wasn't pretending to be a Harley dealer. So you need, if you're doing restoration, you need to restore your motorcycle to what the dealer could have sold it as at that period of time. Now, what was available at that period of time? Okay? So, in the interest of authenticity of that period of time, therefore, according to these guidelines, which are much higher than the AMCA, we have proven, hands down, go shut up. You just got slapped down, proven, original paint, pre-war, whatever you want. We got enamel, we got lacquer, we got DuPont paint, we'll even use your own paint. Proven. There's the invoices. And proven, post-war, immediately post-war, be happy you get what you get when you get it, because we can't guarantee you nothing. You're lucky you got a running bike. and so the dealers could custom paints. So therefore, by the higher standards of the Automobile Club of America, if the dealer could have provided a custom paint machine because Harley Davidson wouldn't, that is also acceptable. You might say, well, it's a slight point production because it's not the original paint that Harley could have had, but you gotta accept it as a restoration. They got way higher guidelines than we do. There's thousands and thousands more cars and guys in those clubs. They really know what we're doing. We have to respect. They're way ahead of us. They're way ahead of us motorcycle guys. That's just how it is. And that's what they accept. And so if the Antique Motorcycle Club wants to step up to the plate, that's what they need to accept too. They need to revise their judging guidelines and deal with the reality of what these bikes really were. See you on the next video.